State your name, please.
My name is My name is Joy Green.
My name is Tolu Missouri.
Okay, so gonna ask three questions right now.
Okay.
So question number 1. What do you love about your job?
What do I love about my job? That I get to work with young people and give back to the community. What I've learned and mastered for about 20 years now, which is photography and film. And I get to work on my own time. Not really my own time, but I create my own schedule. It's flexible, 10 to 2. Yeah, and I guess just giving back. That's what I love about my job.
Yeah. I love, that I'm able to be creative in my job, and that, it's a judgment-free zone, and nobody can create your narrative of your story when you're behind a camera and teaching photography and things like that. I also enjoy teaching youth because I learned how to do photography when I was, in 5th grade, so I had to be, 10? So it's really pretty cool to teach somebody how to do it, 15 years later.
Cool. So, question number 2. What was your educational route?
Well, I went to college for computer science. I went to Essex County for 2 years, and then after I finished at Essex County, I went to King University. Yeah.
Well, my educational route is, I don't have a educational route in educational background in photography, but my educational background, I went to the College of St. Elizabeth, and then I did Seton Hall pre-law program, and now I currently go to Rutgers University, and I'm seeking my MSW, my Master's in Social Work.
Nice. Okay, so question number 3. What is the hardest part of your job?
It's not hard part.
For me, it's making sure everybody understands and they grasp the technique of photography, because you don't want to move too fast, but you don't want to move too slow, because everybody has their own speed and finds beauty in their own thing. So I don't want to create a bias around my students' mind, so I try to figure out what they're about. What they feel, what they like, even if it's just walking to the store with them and seeing what they observe and point out.
Well, there's no hard part for me, but it might come with some challenges because every student has a different learning curve. So I have to learn to work with people at their own pace. It's not hard, it's just challenging sometimes. So that's why I say there's no hard part. So.
Okay, 2 more questions.
Challenging is
It's
just another word for hard. It's just nice.
I wouldn't say it's hard.
It just sounds like sugar coated.
Yeah, I know, but I wouldn't say it's hard. Nothing is ever hard. It could be a challenge till you figure it out, and then once you figure it out, it's no longer a challenge.
Skirt.
Here's something else. All right, come on. What's the next question?
2 more questions now. Question number 4. What is the single greatest challenge at this job?
That was a simple question.
Wait, what's it? That's a setup question. I think we just had that conversation.
Yeah, I know. I think that the single greatest challenge of the job is getting my hair combed before I come to work. It's like that.
Aggravated as hell. You want to edit this, right?
No, this is good because it's fun.
Yeah.
The single hardest challenge at this job, I don't think there is for me.
Well, I don't really have a single, hardest challenge. I think because my heart is so fulfilled when I see, you guys actually learning and grasping what we teach you and, show you, and, you guys are able to regurgitate what we say, almost word for word, and without having to write it down and having us pry it into your head.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really think it's really a challenge, especially since we kind of ask you guys what you want to learn and things like that, so we can stick on your topics.
Okay, now question number 5, lastly. What is your employment timeline? No, tell them, because then, it's fine. I'm going to show only first minute of the clip or something.
Alright. Employment timeline as in, what do you mean?
Well, that's actually just the question. What is your employment timeline?
So like places you worked in.
Oh,
like that and even
employment
during-
timeline?
Yeah, that like led you to the Hubb life, I assume.
Oh, well.
Or not, but.
You want to go first? Ladies first.
Because you don't have an answer. Well, I think, my employee timeline, like, pertaining to my photography life and things like that, I've been doing photography since I was in the 5th grade and things like that, and I used to do the yearbooks for my schools and things like that. So then people started hiring me to do graduation photos and prom photos and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I started building up, and then I started elevating it, like taping at concerts and gospel fest. I did the VMAs this year, or the 2019 VMAs. I did the 2019 Gospel Fest. I did some recordings for the Lords of the Undergrounds and photos and stuff like that. So that's kind of what got me to the steps of teaching now, because people are using my stuff like Dave East and Dupree Kelly and etc.
Sorry about that. Go ahead. Sorry about that. Dupree Kelly, using your footage.
I think I finished.
No, I mean,
Can I start because I'm doing off. I don't remember.
Yeah, but she was talking about, people using your content, and now you're in a position of teaching because, people are starting to use your stuff, and your name is starting to get out there, and,
Yeah, so, like, people are starting to, like, use me, and I'm starting to, like, build myself as a brand now, and people are kind of recognizing, like, the greatness that lies in Joy's strength. So I did that.
My employment timeline, I think what you're trying to ask me, how old am I? I am? That's what you're trying to figure out? Okay.
Okay.
So I got you.
Hey, Grandpa.
All right. So, where do I start?
I started when I was born.
You should start back in the day,
Well, I started out taking pictures at high school, just for friends, family. Then I worked at a photo store in Walgreens. Learning how to develop film, 35mm film, printing out 4x6s and 8x10s and stuff like that. Shortly after that, I was doing video behind the scenes for record labels and, in the music industry. Then somewhere around there, that's when I decided, I could start a business and do this by myself or for myself. So I was doing that part-time, on the side. And then I got hired at MTV in 2007, 8. And then the recession came, and then I found myself back in the neighborhood, in the community, using the stuff that I learned. Then I worked. So the timeline just keeps going, as you see. So around 2013, I started working with the church, contributing some of my services to the church community. Following that, and that was around 2013, around 2015, 16, I connected with the arts community here in Newark, and just been helping out a lot of local artists coming up with photography, video work, covering some of their special events, performances, and stuff like that. Creating content to help promote themselves. And somewhere along that is how I ran into Alta and Joy at Do It All's birthday party about last year. And Joy grabbed my camera and automatically just started taping. And I said, who is this little spoiled brat?
Dang.
That was the first thought that came to mind. I'm sorry.
Oh, spoiled brat?
Like, damn, how'd you just grab my camera and just like...
I bet you your narrative changed now.
Yeah, the narrative changed. But my first impression of her was, she just grabbed my camera. Does she even know how to use a camera? Look at her. She's just like flickering and just like, she doesn't even stay 2 seconds on the subject. But we did make the content work, after edit, it came out to about a nice 5-minute piece.
See.
And that's when I realized, we might have something here. You know, so then after
so
that.
So you're gonna take credit for realizing my potential?
Oh no, I realized it. I realized the hunger, the tenacity, the drive when she grabbed my camera. You know, I don't mind me. My first thought wasn't who is this brat. My first thought was, wow, okay, I like the drive. I like the boldness because not too many people. Like
she all zooming in on our faces like I see
good.
her over the zoom.
That's good, but not too many people like to grab the camera in public, because they feel like, oh, I don't look cool, or people might look at me as just a camera guy. But no, you're helping people to capture their memories and preserve their memories maybe for 10, 20, maybe a lifetime. So that does deserve some credit. Even though everybody might not want to pick up the camera, but I feel like teachers don't get enough credit, you know. Camera persons don't get enough credit. But that was my timeline that brought me to the Hubb. Because shortly after that, I found myself in a meeting with Al Tariq at the Hubb. And here we are, we have this, you know, I want to call it a partnership, you know. Yeah, and we're here.
Yeah. Welcome to the Hubb.
Welcome to the Hubb.
Wait.
And that's how I went down.
Goody?
Thank you for your time.